So I was looking at my about page and I've been kind of, changing it on and off my whole website really for a while. And then I kind of just like left it alone. Um, but I looked at the about page and it was just kind of gross. Like listing what I've done before. Um, and so I didn't delete it, but I did write something to preface it. And this is what came. It's kind of it's just messy. Don't take it seriously, but I kind of just want to read this because it's going to disappear. Yeah. So so basically there was a list of things that I've done before, kind of like a resume, and this is what I wanted to put before it. So I said, be very cautious when you read the descriptions below. It can fabricate stuckness and importance. None of it got me to this. In fact, once I really heard the radical or uncompromising message, everything that was hidden or underneath the spiritual identity was finally able to emerge. Oh, and I met a dear friend who also happened to be dying. And that was the very beginning of the death of me, the total loss of my whole reality. Disturbingly glorious, I went out kicking and screaming, sad, confused, and lost, bitter and angry, with much welcome glimmers of this neutral emptiness. Life felt so unfair and brutal. I would say that this is often the case because this is not by choice. It does not happen through your will because that doesn't actually exist. And what was revealed was simply this: the stunning magnificence of absolutely nothing. And there's mainly just gratitude for all of it now. Thank fucking God I lost everything. Nothing worked out for me. And all there is complete silence. Thoughts, feelings, words, stillness, movement, everything is complete silence. Everything is the same. That's peace. Of course, that's just a story as well. Below is akin to a past life, sort of, but not even. Basically, I don't know who that is anymore. As a person, I thought it was important to list who I was, tell people who I am, announce my achievements and triumphs, perhaps just trying to convince myself that I was worthy in this cruel, competitive, imaginary world. But now I see that it's actually the opposite. It's just more knowing, specialness, and lostness. I do the exact opposite on YouTube now. My failures and wounds became the most precious thing. This tenderness cracked my imaginary heart wide open until there was no separation, no individual to recall, no me to revive. And what was revealed was gentleness, a fierce, no nonsense truth meter. It was able to see the light of day, finally. I'm finally able to say no. No to those that use me, try to put their bullshit onto me, try to control me, try to persuade me, try to entice, lure, and trap me. No fucking thank you. I don't need you anymore. I don't need to listen to anyone anymore, except occasionally David Cars and my dear friend. They're just welcomed confirmations of this. Idolizing and putting anyone on a pedestal is repulsive now. I don't like it when people do that to me. It doesn't feed anything anymore, so it's simply not needed. But I do appreciate when there's just genuine gratitude from an open heart. That's priceless. There's nothing more beautiful. And I say that really lightly. So that doesn't mean I enjoy disrespect. I'll probably still tell you to fuck off. That's how exhausting the personal energy is. It's desperate to take a position. If it can't love, it hates. I guess I was feisty this morning. A lot of cursing. Movie stars, rock stars, celebrities, sex appeal, gurus, teachers, speakers. The worshiping is distasteful. Everything I used to idolize and fantasize, I've completely lost the taste buds for. Everything has been flipped inside out and upside down. Everything that was attractive and enticing is now empty and void. It's seen as it actually is, not real. And the real is now unavoidable, simply obvious. This doesn't mean that there's energy to strike back. There's actually no difference. There's actually no, they're actually no different than anyone else. There's no energy to stop the insanity. There's actually a deeper and deeper acceptance that that's just how humanity is. And that was only clearer when the rage and disgust was fully allowed. It's a shame that teachers will point that back to you as if you're in the wrong, perhaps defending their position, who knows. Ultimately, just use it to see more clearly, not that it's actually in your control. Basically, it just needs to come up. Spiritual people think that this should be a peaceful going out. Quite the opposite. This is an upheaval that will shake your entire world, challenge you like crazy. It will make you question everything, and rightfully so. We have been fed so much bullshit, and it has become the fabric of who we are. It does naturally hurt to harm. It's effortless, obvious, choiceless, and clear. Everything I tried to be on the spiritual path, compassionate, caring, peaceful, wise, it's now clearly seen as just another mask, a way to distract, control, and manipulate. No different than counting likes or getting plastic surgery. Shocking, but true. This clarity didn't come all at once, it was slow, and there was an allowance to go back and forth as many times as it did. A lot of disbelief and confusion. It's not easy to see the insanity clearly. When you are the insanity, you can stay ignorantly asleep. And I totally understand that. There's a reason why everyone is hypnotized and sleepwalking. Society is, as a whole, is the ultimate distraction, illusion. The blind leading the blind. It's horrifying. And yet it also doesn't really matter because nothing's actually happening. Very few ever get here, and even fewer talk about it. I understand why. And I have heard that it can take a long time for the body mind to catch up with the seeing. So I don't know how much more can fall away. how much clearer this can get. All I can say is that there's very little care, if at all, anymore. So if you still must know, referring to my resume, here's a list of past dreams, nothing in particular. Yeah, I think when I met my friend in London, like in December, I didn't think that anything was happening. It just nothing was special. It didn't matter. Um, but I think when I got back home, um, I feel like there was probably some unconscious hope still that maybe that or any other relationship could amount to something, could make this better. And I didn't really know it was there because it was already quite empty. I already had grieved a lot of it. And so there was already enough emptiness, enough contentment, and not much caring. But something really fell away. And then it became impossible for this not to be it. Like there was no even subtle hope and dream and desire for anything other than this. And a real gratitude and deep contentment started to naturally come forth. And I wasn't trying to be that way. It was just revealing on its own. And I could see, holy shit, like everything that I wanted, everything that I thought would make this better, make me happier, anything that could be added to my list of who I am, what this is, that was the suffering, that was the discontentment, that was the chasing. And without that, like, damn, this is stunning. This is, yeah, to have no real desires. Like, who would have thought that that would reveal to you what this actually is? And then it was interesting how I didn't have any filters with my friend either. I could totally tell him how grateful I actually was because there was no fear of am I leading him on? Am I misleading him? And am I trying to get something? There was no question anymore. There was just wow and an expression of that and no hindrance anymore. Because also there was a knowing that he had died even more as well. And he when we were in London, he said that this was his jungle. If you haven't read David Carr's book, and he does preface his story, this is going to be different for everyone. His story doesn't matter. My story doesn't matter. No one's story matters. It has no significance. But his jungle was his whatever you want to call it. And yeah, my friend at the time was like, this is his jungle, maybe in a subtler way. Because he was already pretty dead. And I didn't really get it. But yeah, with some apparent time, it's like, yeah, that really killed us off, like fully, thoroughly. And it's so strange how this works because I couldn't have predicted that, couldn't have made that happen. There is kind of this sweetness after a while of it gets empty enough that whenever a want or subtle desire does arise, it's no longer shunned. It's no longer a problem. It's no longer looked at as like other than this. It's just simply fulfilled. Um, or not. Like it just doesn't matter. The intense chase is also dead enough for it to not create such chaos. But it also doesn't matter if it is attempted or fulfilled because all it does is kill it off. All it does is show you that that's not it in such a beautiful and gentle way. Life constantly showing you that that is not it. And how gorgeous is that? That's all it's telling you. Not that it's saying anything. It's not doing that. Nothing is doing that. And then to not want anything and to just stare at a plant and know that that's it. I don't know what it is, but it's stunning. So the knowing is the burden. The accumulation of knowledge is the tightness. You think you're getting somewhere. You think you're becoming something better. You think you're getting closer to something. So, understandably, because we've been indoctrinated in this society, it is within the system that knowledge is power, knowing is the answer. And when you do get emptied out, it's the opposite that's true. Unknowing is the only peace. This nothingness is actually what everyone wants, and they have no idea because it can't be imagined. It's the end of imagination. Well, it's the end of actual reality in it. Imagination can arise. That's equally this. It doesn't matter. So, anyways, I hope I didn't freak you out too much. Yeah, if you would like to interact, you're welcome to raise your hand. Just take your time. There's no rush. Be yourself. Hey, Anthony.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this was pretty interesting. The writing is pretty compelling. Um, yeah, it's something that's almost counterintuitive. Huh? Uh, yeah, the question of whether time plays a role in figuring this out, I think it really presses upon how you mentioned about a continuing of emptying out. And I think that's pretty salient in terms of how the brain functions. What do you make of that?
You mean how the brain registers time?
How the brain can be free of the need to knowledge, the need to know, which one would think is instantaneous, but can it continue to improve in that instantaneous ability?
The improvement isn't actually happening. What are you defining as improvement?
Being able to see a plant for what it is, and see that's all that there is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like the body loses a way of seeing or functioning. So it's actually like a subtraction in a way. So then the natural functioning of the, I guess you could call the brain, is able to just be.
You consider the brain part of the body when you say the body.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard for me to distinguish. It's all the same.
What was that like getting to know someone who um, has terminally ill? That's something pretty fascinating.
Getting to know someone that's terminally ill?
Yeah, isn't that what you were describing?
You mean my friend?
Hmm.
Oh, he's not terminally ill. Oh, when I say dying, I just mean the sense of self that dies.
Mm. Well, there is generally experiences of those who are terminally ill that describe somewhat letting go, a sense of being unattached, and that there's a certain peace that comes alongside it. Is this something that perhaps you describe?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, people at the end of their life go through this. Um, and it seems like the body is fully capable of doing it. And it also seems obvious that it's death is not really a scary thing. It's actually going into peace in a way.
And what was your relationship with pop culture beforehand? You mentioned pop culture a bit, rock stars, pop stars.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, I had my favorites. It definitely lingered for a while. Um, yeah, it was more intense before, but I think it maybe softened. I don't know. Um,
Yeah, that was definitely something that consumed me as a young person. Definitely wanting to be known, part of the known, and that if I'm not part of the known, then I won't be effective in my pursuits until it dawned on me at around this age. It's like, wait a minute, that's like a whole generation's worth of people who are doing the same exact thing in pursuit. In pursuit of what? Is the question, huh?
mhm, exactly.
You say that there's an intelligence that's born from this sort of emptying out.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it's born, but it is kind of revealed. Mm, I guess you can say the natural intelligence of the body.
Why is it that most don't see that natural intelligence as very worthwhile or emphasize it very much at all?
Yeah, they've become so far removed from it that they don't really know or trust that it's there, understandably, because um I think the identity is a massive protection mechanism.
Protection from what?
It could be anything and everything.
Has it ever protected from the ultimate at end, what is death?
Say that again?
Has identity ever protected any human being ever from our ultimate fate, which is death?
Right, exactly. It's inevitable.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I hope your retreat goes well.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Anthony. Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you. Bye.
I
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, Christine. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. That was what you were talking about was so um, helpful. Um, yeah, I've just been, yesterday I was thinking about it. I just feel like I'm in some kind of limbo, some kind of weird no space. Um, but yeah, like I've heard spiritual people in the past who are experiencing heaps of bliss and joy and stuff. And I mean, like, that's just not happening for me. It's just like that. It's like there might be a fleeting second every now and then, but it's like, I guess I'd had this expectation that, you get to a certain point and then suddenly, you get all the goodies. But I mean, I don't know, either I'm just not wherever that is, or, well, obviously I'm not, but it seems like there's a lot, or there's other stuff that needs to happen first, or I don't know. I have no idea. I really just do not know. But kind of, there's been a bit of a softening of that expectation, I guess, or a questioning, or I don't know, that there's all these goodies around the corner. Um,
Totally.
yeah, and um, but yeah, I mean, there's a few feelings coming up. There's been sadness and so on around, but nothing strong. But also no direction, um, nothing to be grabbed hold of that's a goal, or really.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from I've just lately coming up, divesting myself of stuff, like physical stuff. Like, oh my God, there's too much stuff in my house. I need to just like clear out. And maybe and within that, the reduction of um, stuff that was really is meaningful because it was given to me. So a sentimental value. I think that's kind of loosening. So I don't know. It's just a weird space to be hanging
Yeah,
out in, really. And I guess there's some sadness in that. It's like, I guess, like, maybe it is a grieving all the meaning in life.
beautiful.
Not in I mean, I haven't been crying or hardly. I mean, it kind of just comes to the surface, but so no, yeah, no strong emotions about it, but either. It's kind of like, well, it would be good if I could just like bawl my eyes out or something, but that even isn't
Yeah, yeah,
happening.
yeah. Everything you're saying actually sounds wonderful to me.
Does it? Okay. It
Yeah.
just feels so like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, I'm interested in your response.
Yeah. So I would describe it that way too. I felt very blah. It was just like neither here nor there.
Mm,
And it was for a while. And there were expectations of, shouldn't this feel better? Shouldn't it feel like bliss? Shouldn't I feel happier? Shouldn't the body feel great? And yeah, it kind of did those expectations or feeling like you should know anything or can control how the body feels in any given moment. Yeah, it's a death because that is how you used to function. it is kind of disorienting and confusing. It's kind of unfortunate that we hear these spiritual things and then you can't help but think that that is it. But um it became clearer only in hindsight. Like when I was there, I felt like also I was in limbo. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where I was going because you're not going anywhere. It's the collapse of knowing uh, and having any direction or purpose and meaning. Um, and that in itself will bring up any of the fears and the doubts and the should it be like this? So it's great that you just express it. Um, oh, so it was it in only in hindsight it became clear that the body needs a lot of time to empty out of all of the ways that it used to function, and it goes in layers and layers, deeper and deeper. And like you said, you'll have glimpses of like, oh, this is fine, this is actually like pretty nice, but it's fleeting. It doesn't really just stay because nothing stays. um yeah, nothing is predictable in that way. So it's not like I'm where I am constantly knowing and predicting that I'll feel content forever. That's not what's happening. There's actually no care. The care has is the thing that died. The need to know is the thing that died. Um, but that need to know, yeah, it came with a lot of baggage, which could be some of the physical stuff that you're kind of letting go of. Um, yeah, I think there was a period for me too where it really just didn't feel needed, all of the physical clutter, and holding on to it just didn't feel necessary anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I think there is a loosening of care about and I mean, I guess a good thing. I notice a loosening of care finally about how I'm feeling. Whereas I used to, I think, a loosening of the resistance of, say, feeling sad or, you know, the more um, challenging feelings. Um, and also, yeah, occasionally getting angry but it passing through in a split second and getting angry about something like totally random, but like, or something annoying, say, but really angry for a split second and like rah, and then it's just gone. And
Yeah,
one day that happened to me, and I was outside the house and I saw something I didn't like, and then I went rah, and then I came back inside and I couldn't even remember what I was angry about. Like a couple of seconds later, and I was like,
nice.
"What was that?"
Yeah, yeah.
It's so funny.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah,
So
yeah.
what you just described there is how the body naturally functions. It releases and then it's completely gone. But what the person
Okay.
does is suppress it, make it a big thing. It gets bottled in, stories arise, you fester over it. It becomes a thing. Anger builds. Like it's so complex. But where
Okay.
you're at, it's so beautiful. It's an explosion and then it disappears.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say that for the sadness though. It just seems like this little background thing that's just kind of there. Um, and kind of has been for years, I guess, on and off. There's
Yeah.
times when it's not, but there's times when, yeah, yeah.
So I would say that there was an underlying sense of, if you can label it sadness, I'm not sure, but there was kind of like a bleakness for a while.
Mm, yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, that really nails it. Um, it does feel a bit bleak, almost like, oh, do I almost feel a little bit depressed? But I'm not a depressive person, you know. Whenever I felt depressed, it's only been a half a day or a day and then it's gone, you know. That's not how this body normally goes. So, um, yeah, having this kind of, yeah, bleakness. And I wondered, is it just because the mind is, you know, the mind's used to having things to grasp hold of and um, go after or desire or um, like Anthony was talking about with you, celebrities or, you know, like a, a telly show or, you know, whatever um, thing it is that we desire at the time. Um, Food, I'm finding almost couldn't care what I eat. Like I still need to eat, but I can't think. I'm like, what do I want for dinner? And I just can't think of anything that makes me go, oh yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Just everywhere I look, it's just
Flavorless.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
you're the attraction and interest in things in different ways is just dying. And so it can be
yeah.
alarming. It can be strange.
It's really strange. Yeah,
Yeah. But it's fine. That kept happening here, with a lot of different things. Entertainment, music, food, seeing friends. Yeah, everything. And it just came in waves. Sometimes there was actually enjoyment and then it would disappear for a while.
awesome. Thank you so much. So, you know, it's so helpful to have it confirmed, kind of in some way. I suppose that's just the mind wanting to grasp hold of something again. But
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
normal because it's never been here. So of course it's gonna be like, is there something wrong? Should this be like this? Um, it's nice to have the confirmation that it's actually okay. It's actually
yeah,
pretty normal.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It
Okay.
it it
Thank you.
sounds, yeah, it sounds very familiar. I definitely also like didn't know what I wanted to eat. It was just like I'll eat for the sake of eating, but like
Yeah,
I'm not really getting enjoyment out of it. And um yeah, it's kind of interesting too how other things can be questioned naturally. Like questions will just arise. Like how much food does the human actually need? Like do I need to eat 3 times a day? Or and then you kind of discover what the body wants. And it will still kind of fluctuate for a while because sometimes I don't know if it's hormonal, but sometimes I will actually have an appetite and I can eat a lot. And then other times it's just like nothing. And it was kind of like that as a person, um but yeah, overall it has kind of depleted because I no longer, yeah, get the kind of satisfaction out of it in the same way. it used to be a nice distraction when I felt more boredom. But the sense of boredom can also kind of diminish sometimes after a while. Sometimes it can come up actually really strong, stronger than before, but then it can sort of diminish.
Yeah. I think that my body's still running some of those old programs of snacking.
Mhm.
but but yeah, maybe that will drop away a bit. Mm.
Yeah, I don't want you to
It might not go the same way.
yeah, make anything
Yeah.
anything because
Yeah, yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
vary. And
Yeah.
yeah, because I remember there were a lot of moments where there was a lot of boredom and restlessness, and I really thought it was a problem. I was really confused. Um, but I
Yeah,
think
I definitely have that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, restlessness. Yeah.
I mean, also, why wouldn't the body be a bit concerned and restless when it's not getting the same satisfaction out of what it used to?
Yeah. 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 True. Yeah. Oh, and I had this thought about truth, the word truth. It's really something for the mind, isn't it? Like, we want to know the spiritual truth. What is the truth? What is true? And it's like, oh, if there's nowhere to land, then that's for the mind. There is no ultimate truth. And that's what mind does, doesn't it? I mean, mind likes equate things that add up, equations kind of thing, like this plus this equals this. This is what's going to happen. And that's how the mind sees truth, actually. But if there's nowhere to land,
Yeah,
it's not.
beautiful.
There's no like truth doesn't make sense in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no words do anything justice. So,
Mm. Okay. Thanks so much, Suzanne. I'll let someone else have a go.
yeah, thanks so much for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you.
Good to see
Bye.
you. Bye. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Oh wow. Hello. Oh, little intense.
Yeah, you could take your time. Just let it be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm.
Yeah, there's no rush to say anything. Just let your body really
Yeah.
relax.
Mm. 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 It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you too.
I don't really have much to say. Like,
That's fine.
could be so many things, and nothing seems to really be too important. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very grateful to have come across this group, really. You and also all the people and what they're sharing.
Yeah.
I actually kind of thought that that I was alone, and like really going through the mill in a way,
Really going
and
through what?
the mill being grinded, like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and like I've done everything, like I've been everywhere to everyone, like spend a lot of money looking and traveling, and from shamans in the Amazon to like mainstream spiritual, all the stuff, and was always a kind of disillusioned, and this is not you look at how they are as people, and I'm like, what? What? I don't want to be like that. That does not look good to me.
Mm.
And then so much self-doubt, and always like what you're saying, onto the next. And then I really cut it out. I cut it then at one point, like, I'm just gonna live normal. I'm gonna be normal.
Yeah, totally.
And then I actually even then started working and got married. And it was actually a very good grounding,
Yeah.
very grounding thing. And
Beautiful.
yeah, and I'm in a marriage where we're both on that way.
Mm.
So that's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I kind of just came across some of your videos on YouTube just a couple of weeks ago, it was a bit like, what? Somebody is talking some sense. this I can. It felt a little bit like some water in a desert.
Mm.
Like, even though it doesn't really change anything, it still is kind of it still feels like I'm not alone.
Totally.
Yeah, there's so much similarity also with what people are sharing, and like that whole process, even though we are different and things will be different, there's also some things that seem to be very similar, because we are all human.
Exactly.
You know, the body is a lot the same also, in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is very useful, or it feels just I actually have also felt like maybe a little stuck or not fully allowing some things to just happen, because it's so just walking in the dark in a way, not knowing what in German they say, not a bird or a fish, neither bird or fish, not, I don't know what's going on, kind of, in a way. And so useful to hear not just what you were saying, but what all the people are saying about what's happening to them, kind of. And I'm grateful to that people are sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I really appreciate that. Because it also helps me too to hear, like,
Yeah.
at least I did have my friend to confirm that, yeah, we were both equally lost, and that whatever was here, it was fine, no matter what it was, but
Mhm.
but to hear other people like confirm to you that they feel the exact same way, and yeah, there's something very
But
confirming about that.
yeah, because you really can't doubt, am I, is this just like a weird mental illness?
Yeah. Yeah, am
that
I going
nobody's
down?
talking about, no one is talking about.
Yeah, no one knows about yet.
I'm the anomaly, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good to know, and it does really make, on another level, it's I do know that it's not I did know that it wasn't wrong in another way. I also have known that it isn't wrong, but there's also those uh, programs, whatever, running, saying other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the harder things about this, because you're energetically really letting go of things, but then the conditioning is like,
There still.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, it's such a strong, like,
Yeah. Grip.
mhm. And you almost have to go through multiple rounds of it, and it comes up in different ways, and then it's kind of grieved, or you let it go in different ways. And yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't even know if I can say that that's what I'm experiencing in a way. I don't even know if that's, I do kind of feel that I don't think I'm like in the daily life I feel more like I don't think too much about this stuff, like what we're this the words around it, in a way. So I'm just sort of my weird self with all that I have, in a way, in me. And that's I don't know, at the moment it's like yeah, like I'm a little bit scared, because it's not scared, but like the people in my life who are not very close, but who is the family of my husband, who are not particularly nice people, and I've been very nice with them as a part of our family, in a way. And lately it's just like I just told off his mother, kind of. And she took it really well, and actually she's really tough in a way. But I'm also like, oh shit, I think I need to not see her for a while, because now it's like she's a bit like, in my mind, the ultimate test of disapproval as a human being. She's like the embodiment of disapproval.
Mm,
And that's like, yeah, that's a bit intensely coming up at the moment. Just this, when people are not kind of respecting, like, just common decent. I don't need any gratitude. I don't need anything positive. Just not all the shit, kind of. That's it. Like,
exactly.
don't give me the shit. The rest is fine.
Nice.
The rest is, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I was thinking of when I said it comes up over and over, and the conditioning is
Yeah,
it can be like, be the good girl. No, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
You know, you need this person in your life, or what's going to happen
yeah.
if you let go of this.
That came after.
Hmm.
In the moment, I
Yeah, it
was
was
not
just
there. I was not there. It just came out in a very nice way. It was not loaded with anger or with like, it was just very straight and very confronting.
yeah.
And after, it was like all that you just said, like, oh my God. What that, am I
Exactly.
bad? Was that bad? Was that
Yeah,
right? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe I
exactly.
shouldn't go there for a while. No,
Should I apologize? Like,
I would, like, I'll blow her head off. That's how it feels. I'll cut her head off, kind of. Not
yeah.
really, but with my words.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, there is some truth to that too. I have been contemplating that too after that. I don't think she particularly wants that. She got physically unwell, as I told her, like in the moment. You know?
Oh, cool.
Even the, yeah, but yeah, that's what happened. So that's what that's what
Yeah.
happened.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool to me. Because it
yeah,
is like, when we're so used to being the good girl or the quiet one or the one that doesn't like rock the boat,
yeah.
just
Oh
like
yeah,
keep it hush hush. It's not a big
yeah,
deal,
yeah.
blah blah blah. But now it's like the body can't hide. It's very easily
No,
agitated when someone is putting their stuff onto you and it's
yeah,
not even asked for, and
yeah,
you can feel it. You're just like,
yeah, yeah.
you're
Oh my,
you're
totally.
you're like invading my space. You really are.
Oh, completely. Yeah,
But as a person, you don't feel it like that because there's
yeah,
still this complacency of like, I'm just doing what's right. It's fine. It's
yeah.
just,
And the self doubt, that sort of suppresses that fire, which is kind of uh the no, in a way,
yeah, yeah,
which is just uh like it feels almost like has felt, or just a deeper sense of like, this feels almost like blasphemous in a way. To, like, is it even allowed that I thought today, if I just feel like I don't have to see another human being ever again, that would be okay. Would that be okay? Am I allowed to even not see anybody, or like have to see anyone? That's what I mean. That I have to, out of any kind of rule,
yeah,
that's okay, kind of, no matter who it is.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what came up for me over and over.
Yeah.
Um, mhm. So yeah, my friend was kind of more blown open energetically. And so
Mm.
he stops caring about his friends long time ago. And
Mm.
I actually encouraged him, like, you should see more friends. Like, I think it's healthy to like see friends. And because I was still like getting something out of human
Mm.
contact, and like it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Mm.
But only now do I really see like it's really not needed. Because so recently one relative, I don't know if he saw something on YouTube. I'm not really
Oh.
sure. But and I really encourage people not to like stay away from this stuff. But I guess he
Yeah.
saw something, and then he he just messaged me out of nowhere, kind of telling me his beliefs and that you should maybe read this book.
Oh my God.
And so I replied very nicely, but it was very firm, and it was like end
Yeah.
of conversation. I
Yes.
basically I
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah. Yeah.
continue this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then afterwards I was just like, but he's so nice, and like,
Yeah. Oh
was
my
I
God.
too harsh? And
Yeah.
did I just cut him off?
Yeah.
Um and more time kind of passed, but
Mm.
then I really saw how
Mm.
Suzanne was in that relationship.
Oh yeah.
The role
Yeah.
that was played was like, oh yeah, tell me what you know, tell me what you think, and I'll check it out, and kind of validating and stroking their ego, like, oh, you're so smart and talented, and why it's not that I said that stuff, but I think that was the feeling,
Energetically.
like
Yeah.
someone knows better and I should just listen.
Mm.
um but that's gone now. It's just no one knows anything, and I can't tolerate you putting your knowing onto me when I didn't even ask for it. I don't want it.
Mm.
It's not invited.
Mm. Mm.
You're invading my space.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Invading my space. That's, I think, a bit of a, that's a kind of a, yeah. I think there's been no boundary there in a way.
yeah, like no tolerance for that anymore.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I mean, I think that's where I came from, that there was no, I had no, um, not that that's a boundary even, it's just naturally cannot happen anymore in a way. But there was no, um, I think I just, like that, yeah, just like that, I just disappeared in the other person in a way, and did not have, like, um, a clear sitting in me, a clearly sitting in me, and kind of taking that what's happening in. It was more like, uh, I'm just not there. I'm just all what I see, kind of. And I didn't see myself really, not really seeing myself and what I, was doing, even just seeing the other in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's this, like, this situation with my mother-in-law was really like, I saw myself doing it. And that was what was so insane. Like, watching myself, like, telling her off in a way.
Yeah.
And just be like, uh, in a way, a part of me, it was like, oh my God, what's, like, some little other thing on the side, like, geez, what's, oh God, did I just say that, kind of. But at the same time, it was just like streamlined and like straight, which
Yeah.
was interesting. It really feels to me like she's the test of, disapproval, like somebody really embodying that sense of, she's just so unhappy and so discontent, and no self-awareness, just like projecting that at everybody who is there. So that was great in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's still like, I'm still processing. I'm really still processing all those other things that you mentioned, with the, like, the self-doubt, and I can be, I mean, it can also be that you are overstepping in some way. Can it not?
That you are or I am?
Like when you see and when you do like set, like what I did there was quite it was quite what I was thinking without violence, just came out in a way. And it did make her unwell. She was getting unwell, and it is a bit like cutting the head off somebody. And I do still really think about whether that was, do I really need to do that to someone whom I kind of know not much is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Likely not much is going to change for that person, kind of. This is a bit the thing that I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that.
But it's not your responsibility to take care of anyone, to manage other people's feelings, and you don't owe
Yeah,
anyone anything, and you're not
yeah.
doing any harm. You're actually just doing
Mm.
what's healthy. What it, to be honest, maybe other people are just letting her trample over them. And is
Oh
that
my God.
is that good for her?
No, she is she none of her children want to be close to her. I don't think she has many friends. Her husband, her and her husband are just constantly bickering, and it's such an antagonistic life that they're living. It's just so purely negative, kind of so negative that. But on the other hand, I feel like I don't want to be that person for her, kind of like I don't want to be that. Ugh, I don't want to. Ugh, it's just
I
like,
know it's hard.
yeah,
It makes sense
but
exactly how you feel, but she's the
yeah,
one that invaded your space, you know?
yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's. I really feel like, uh, uh, yeah, if I can, it's because it's kind of the what it triggers is a sense of like you're bad, you're wrong, you're not good enough, like you're so bad. That's like the thing that gets like,
I know.
and so that's kind of that's the good thing in a way that there is someone who shows me that's or that where I feel that is in me, kind of.
You, I don't know if that needs to be mirrored to you because that's not, you didn't do anything
You don't
wrong.
think?
You're not wrong.
No, no, not that I'm wrong. I'm saying that I could have um, that because that feeling is in me. That's what I experience. That I have that in me still to be wrong.
Like it's a feeling that arises there.
Yeah, and that's nothing to do with her in a way. That she would just then, uh,
Oh, I see.
uh and uh, that she that me like telling her off in a way is me sticking up for myself to myself in a way to that program somehow to that I'm not wrong, kind of, you're wrong, or it's not really you're wrong but what you're doing is wrong.
Mm,
What that is not okay,
hmm.
and that's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah,
you need to make it that complex. Like,
okay.
I think that, like, sure, there can be that conditioning of I'm wrong and it gets triggered because of something that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is showing you what's there, but it's not, I don't think you need to psychoanalyze, like, it's not, it's not really about her, it's
Mm,
what's here. Um,
yeah, yeah. I think I know what you mean. I think I understand
because,
that.
yeah, because so it doesn't matter, but I don't really have that anymore, but I will still
Hmm.
say no because it just feels right.
Of course, I think I can kind of intuit that that's what's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just about seeing clearly that that's a no-no for you. Sorry. No.
yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, if this doesn't happen now, you're probably just going to continue having these interactions where, I mean, I don't think you can tolerate it anymore, but
No.
you don't even want those interactions.
No, not
So,
at all.
so why not cut it now? Which wasn't your choice. I know that it just happened,
Mm.
but that's kind of how
But
I
what do
was,
you mean cut? Cut what? Like cut the interaction?
like just be sort of true to yourself,
Yeah.
honest with what's there. And um you needed to
Mm.
say what you said.
Yeah. I think that's true. Yeah. That feels true. Because it really just happened. It wasn't um yeah. And it must have been that it must have been what was supposed to be because that's what was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it was. And that's okay in a way. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think also later on I was kind of thinking how um yeah, I don't even need those interactions anymore. Like you were saying before, like do you
Yeah, yeah.
even need these
Yeah, but I
people?
think you're right. I think you're right about that because I that's what I kept saying today to my husband. Like, I don't even wanna, I don't wanna see them at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I just, maybe you go there alone
Mm-hmm.
if you have to go there, kind of. I really don't think I need that.
Yeah.
Uh, if there is something where we have to kind of intersect, that it's then very technical, kind of, or practical.
Right.
Nothing, nothing more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, like I actually don't want to. I don't want to be that. I also don't want to be that. Yeah, I don't think I need. Like when you say that, that's maybe uh, just to let that whole thing. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it did take time for me to naturally see that actually I don't even know if I genuinely cared for these people. It was an artificial, I don't mean that in a mean way. It's like
No, I get it.
it's an artificial like, oh, they're my
Yeah,
relatives,
yeah.
so therefore I should see them and
Mm.
entertain conversation and
Mm.
they are sweet. I don't want any harm for them. I want them to have a good life. I wish them all the
Mm.
best, but I don't really get anything anymore out of those interactions.
Yeah, yeah. If anything, just kind of like uh disgusted, but just feel like, oh geez, you stink in a way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if somebody smell something, if somebody really stinks, the only thing you can do is to leave. Kind of, you
Mm,
can't stand the smell, and it's a bit the same there. It feels just so gross.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm, yeah. So that's kind of just what's um, in the middle of all the other things that happen in my life, that was now kind of just something that burst a little bit, that like
Nice.
that 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 came out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the relationships are the hardest things because they were actually the most artificial for the person. Like keeping up appearances, trying to appear a certain way for another, trying to please another, like all of those things, the energy to keep that up is just,
Oh my God.
it's not there
Yeah.
anymore. Or it can be there, but it's like barely there. The whatever the body
Yeah.
feels is more apparent, you know. That is more in the forefront rather than the, oh, I should just be happy, I should
The
just,
mental, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna take a minute, I think, to get that kind of more. It's like there's been a lot of rounds, like you said before, like different level, like kind of different levels of the same stuff in different ways, and that it's somehow because I have experienced that that there has been situations where I have been extremely tense, and then at one point it's like as if I'm all alone in terms of feeling relaxed, that doesn't agitate anything anymore. That's like I don't know how that works technically, kind of, but something seems to
It just leaves when it leaves.
just oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a huge one, you know. It's not easy. Your husband's mom is not. I'm sure there was a lot of kind of importance.
Yeah, because she is also a very scary person. Like she's really can be really mean. And that was like I actually think I feel more from my husband in a way. And a lot these days, like what happened to me made me understand him more.
Right.
And just kind of what that does to someone. Like I see that what that has done to him in a way. Or like what's not like in like a just what those kind of things do to us, like the whole, like it doesn't feel like just, it feels so much bigger in a way, like the whole society with cruelty and kind of demanding and manipulating and pushing and all that we do to each other, and like to a child kind of growing up in that, what that does in a way. It's just kind of heartbreaking.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only way that you can see that so clearly and be so heartbroken because of that is because, oh my God, you see how energetic it is and how many layers there are and how deeply ingrained it actually is, and
how difficult it is.
Yeah, how difficult it is. And then of course there's gonna be kind of like a fuck you, like fuck you all, or some rage or some kind of, just how disturbing it actually is. Like they don't know what kind of harm they're really doing.
Yeah, we have no idea. I mean, I've been a part of that too. It's not like I haven't been a part of it too, like everyone else. Like that's
Yeah,
I think that's I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's impossible to not do harm as long as that sense is there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I like when I listen to you, to your videos and also these talks. That's mostly what comes up for me is this grief, like of how fucked it is in so many ways, and when everyone is carrying these burdens and not even knowing it, and like programmed, heartless robots in a way, executing all these different activities that are just so gruesome, and it all kind of distills into to this somehow, just like this, or madness in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That's madness. It's really a madness,
Exactly.
totally out of touch with what's actually going on, what's actually happening is not perceived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and often when you're speaking, I just, even though you're just talking about some other stuff, somehow I feel that like, oh,
Yeah.
that comes up to me. It just is like, it just, I think it's more like a reaction that I have, like going around and interacting or being in the world normal, my everyday life, and then sort of having some other uh like one of the first videos I saw, I just totally broke down. It just made me like, oh my god, that that's love, kind of, that's, where is it? Other than it's like, that's not like, just the mind blowing, like, whoa, this is not really with us yet. It's not really around much yet.
Mm.
Just people who are not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you said in the beginning, and that thing you wrote for your intro. Yeah, about the gentleness, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
You're so beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a great reflection. If you talk about, when you said reflection,
Mm.
because that was like I've heard people like talk about that before. You know, a lot of the like teachers and people speaking about this stuff, but then they are like also like really edgy or harsh, or like they also have something else which I don't know if that means anything, because I don't know them. But with you, I kind of felt now like a deep resonance that this is the way, kind of.
Mm.
That's just okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
That's like the most gorgeous thing that I could hear.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, though everything you described, even though it's not really definable exactly, but the disgust and the anger and the horror, it has to come up. It needs to come
Yeah.
up. It's
Yeah.
the rage. It's like it's very understandable.
Yeah, I
But
see that.
but then you can also see, wow, the body, like
Yeah.
I think it was more just a couple months ago. I couldn't hurt anything anymore. I couldn't kill, like, if there's rodents or like bugs or something, I used to be able to kind of just like kill it and not really think about it. But now I will take hours to like trap it and then like bring it outside and waste
Yeah,
a lot of time, but not
I
even
do the
care.
same. I do the same.
Like I can't, my heart just can't, it just can't, you know?
Oh, just 1 second. I have to show you something. Look at this. This is an insect trapper.
Ah,
So you
yeah.
actually catch the insects really easily and just
Oh,
put them
cool.
outside.
Oh, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah. I don't know,
That's
you can
smart.
likely find them online and it's like insect. It's just so practical. You catch them
Yeah,
and then close the thing and then just put them outside.
I love it. That's smart. That is smart.
Yeah. Yeah, like I even do it to mosquitoes, even though occasionally I do scorch them.
Yeah, that must be
Like
hard.
if it's in the middle of the night and they've been sucking my blood, then I'm like, you
That
piss.
makes sense. Yeah, yeah,
No, you're gone.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, but it's actually easier with this to catch them than to squash them.
Mosquitoes too?
Yeah, and
Interesting.
flies. Yeah.
Mm. Oh. I used to be a product designer, so that is a
Ah,
smart invention.
yeah, I wondered that this showed up in a shop who have like some stuff on rotation, and I actually thought that this is not like, at least for the coming time, likely more and more people are gonna be like more gentle and will want this.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you so much. It's
Yeah,
really
thank
nice
you.
to meet you and everyone. Thanks for listening
Yeah,
to me talking, and I also really appreciate to listen to what everyone has to say.
yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. It was beautiful for me to hear.
That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, so lovely to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, thank you.
You.
Mm.